I used to have these really big, scary, terrible eyebrows growing up. Mimi said they looked like Brooke Shields. They really looked more like Groucho Marx, but everything turned out fine. You're going to be fine. So have a great first day of school. I'm telling you, this neighborhood knows how to do a snow day. I've got a hot chocolate here, and I'm telling you, it's just really tough being at work right now. If you take a look here, this involves everything from Gordon Highway exit to the Deansbridge Road exit along the Bobby Jones Expressway.
So not a bad showing for Laura Warren's Bulldogs out here. A lot of red and black. I'm surprised you're not wearing it right now.
I know, right? I should have sported the colors, but not too bad at all. 3 of those Bulldogs did make the cut. One of those, of course, Bubba Watson, who took home the green jacket 2 years ago. And you know what? If he keeps playing how he's been playing, he may just bring home another. The sticker kind of comes across as racist. It has a monkey pictured wearing sunglasses.
They don't say nothing about him. Never mentions his name. So it's not my fault if he looks at it and, you know, gets the impression that it's talking about him.
So what is your intent? What does the sticker mean, I guess?
It's just me trying to be funny.
I don't see it funny whatsoever.
You can see in the background still a lot of police presence there. As we said, 1 person in custody, but we have not confirmed whether or not they are still looking for other suspects. The campus is still on lockdown, so that could give you some inclination. This has been affecting a lot of students. Obviously, we have been hearing from them on social media. We've been keeping you updated on social media. We want to take you to some tweets from students there. One student says, "I'm still horrified by this. I don't know what to do. All I can do is think about how fast it all happened. Jesus, protect us." So you can just hear the fear in her voice as she is typing this. Along with weather problems, workers have also had to deal with problems with the utilities. These guys behind me had to stop what they were doing with the road work to clean out this drainage line. Yeah, I like a little crisp in my fall air. What do you think?
I think you can feel a difference though when the humidity goes away.
Absolutely. Well, humidity.
Like today.
I mean, it feels great outside, but I think it's more springish than fallish outside right now.
Wow.
No, come to my
That's
side.
an interesting debate.
As much trouble as a lot of us have with those IKEA projects, with all the parts and the directions.
The whole house now.
The peg goes here and the screw.
And the instructions written by someone who doesn't speak English as a first language.
True.
Well, it is Monday, which means it is time to meet our Take Me Home guest, and he is a big boy. This is Gadsden, very sweet, about 1.5 years old. Raced their handmade boats made of nothing but cardboard and duct tape this morning. They look pretty good. The class actually just completed their section on fluids and buoyancy, and it was time to see if they actually understood what they were taught. 11 students competed in a race across the Hammond Hill Suburban Club pool in their boats, teaching engineering with hands-on experience. Also teaching you how to swim because it looks like a few were in the water. I've combed through this report and some of the findings will drop your jaw. If there was a soundtrack from February's ice storm, this would definitely be on it. We all know that sound, limbs and trees falling.
It may not feel like Christmas out here. A lot of us are in short sleeves, but we are having a blast.
So the mystery continues.
Well, you know, you can pick up a sweater, some jeans, a skull now.
Household items and a skull.
There you
Throw
go.
that right in there.
It really is a nightmare, and that little girl you saw in the video, she has pink eye right now. She has an ear infection, so as you can imagine, just being in a shelter with all those people out of your element when you're that little, it's not a walk in the park. The congressman here says he is feeling good, and his supporters here behind me, they say they are feeling good too. This is some of the worst damage we've seen so far. This is not a dirt wall I'm standing in front of. This is actually the base of a giant tree that toppled over in a front yard on Vineland Road. So I've seen a lot of different makeshift sleighs today, but this is definitely the most creative. This is an old makeshift pool liner, but we're about to test it out. So here goes nothing. Y'all ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Not sure my sled's performance will send inventors rushing to get a patent, but hey, in the South, you work with what you've got. I think y'all's are better than the pool liner. You won't find a lot of bluebirds on Bluebird Lane in Edgefield. Instead, it's become home to as many as 5 vultures.
Well, honey, they are unreal. They sitting on your house like they might pay rent. They've been on my car there and doing number 2 and all that.
Their number 2 is ruining houses, cars, and Angela Fleming's new ramp.
But all this white stuff is what they done.
They say if all that fails, now listen to this, the most effective way to get rid of buzzards is to hang a fake buzzard upside down from a tree nearby where all of them can see, and it's supposed to act as like a warning. They call it a bird effigy. So these ladies, that is next on their list.
You have to hang a fake
buzzard, like from a Halloween store or something.
Apparently sends a message and they get out of there.
Wow. We wondered not only why Sanders is still on the job, but also how she keeps getting jobs in law enforcement.
And Meredith, what News 12 uncovered in our investigation might surprise you, because it surprised us. A dangerous trend that spanned years and multiple law enforcement agencies. This twisted stick of metal is all that's left of a stop sign after police in Hephzibah say Officer Kimberly Sanders crashed into it. A witness called the chief after she tried to drive away.
Her words were, "You're not going to believe who this is."
It was the second wreck that day for Sanders, who'd been in a crash a block away 2 hours earlier.
I looked around to my left and she was coming right at me. And I'm like, oh my God, I just closed my eyes. And she hit me and spun my car around twice.
Witnesses and the chief say Sanders ran a red light at the busy intersection of Windsor Spring Road and Highway 88.
I saw her, and there was an obvious difference between the first wreck and the second wreck in her behavior and her demeanor and everything.
And the Waynesboro officer was booked for DUI drug charges, leaving the scene of an accident, and failing to maintain lane. Officer Sanders has been reassigned to desk duty at Waynesboro's police department, waiting for her day in court.
I didn't know until you just told me that she still had a job, because I would feel that she would have been, like I say, suspended, if nothing else, till the investigation is completed.
A News 12 investigation found this is not the first run-in for Sanders and prescription drugs. When she applied to the Waynesboro PD this past May, a background check revealed a few concerns, including a charge in Columbia County for 2 counts of felony attempt to obtain dangerous drugs by fraud from 1999. 6 years later, that charge was dismissed. And in 2010, Sanders was hired by Richmond County Sheriff's Office to work in the jail. Their personnel records reveal Sanders was reprimanded for sleeping on the job. A lieutenant stated he called her several times trying to wake her, but it was only after he shook Sanders by the shoulders that she awoke, but was disoriented. She was suspended 2 days without pay. 4 months later, Sanders was found to be disoriented with slurred speech and unsteady on her feet. A drug recognition expert gave a statement that Sanders' appearance was consistent with someone under the influence of depressant medication. At first, Sanders denies taking any prescription drugs, then admits to taking a muscle relaxer. She was fired the following week. 2 years pass and Sanders is hired again as an officer, this time by Georgia Regents University. A previous employer told GRU they would not hire her back and advised GRU not to. But GRU did hire her, only to fire her 11 days later. Despite Sanders' well-documented pattern of problems, which was all available to the Waynesboro Police Department, the chief gave Sanders a job.
I found that there's no person, me, you, or anyone else, that someone at some point in our life hasn't taken a chance with us. And it's important that we do that.
And the chief says background checks for potential employees include a driving history over the past 7 years. So News 12 checked Kimberly Sanders' driving record too. Besides those 2 accidents in September, going back 7 years, News 12 also found Sanders was ticketed for running a stop sign, going 81 in a 55, and passing in a no-pass zone. She's been in a few accidents too. She ran off the road and hit a tree after she said she saw a deer, and ran another stop sign, crashing into the back of a car. Hephzibah's police chief remembers that one.
She didn't stop at the stop sign. She basically ran right through it and plowed into the back of her before she even cleared the intersection.
Do y'all see something like that often, or is that more of an unusual case?
That's unusual.
And 6 years ago, Sanders hit and killed a man along Golf Spur Road in Burke County. The Georgia State Patrol says he was in the middle of the road when Sanders hit him.
The accident report says the posted speed limit was 45. In the report, the trooper says the man's body ended up 198 feet from where he was hit. That's 66 yards, the length of this pass, plus another 10 yards. The report says the man didn't see the car and was at fault. Officer Sanders wasn't charged with anything.
No matter how tight a process you have, ultimately the decision lies with the chief of police. I weigh the applicants, and if I think they're salvageable, if I think they're trainable, I'm willing to take a chance with them.